Not guilty of...
Lindsay Clancy did not strangle her kids, and we may now have proof of it. Because there is no way for her to have strangled her youngest son and for her body to have been 82 degrees. It is impossible. Here's why. So during the trial, Patrick said he left his house at 5:15, but we know he sent his work email at 5:24 through something he called Surface Pro. Surface Pro is a 2-in-1 hybrid computer, kind of like a tablet that transforms into a laptop. This is important. Reddington also later asked him, "You sent the email from where?" And he says, "My laptop," but then later hesitates and says, "Maybe it was from my phone." But we know it was from his laptop, and his laptop was pinged at his home at that time, putting Patrick at his home at 5:24 p.m. And the drive from his home to CVS is 3 to 4 minutes, and we saw him walk through the doors of CVS at 5:32, meaning he left from his home earliest at 5:25 and latest at 5:29. At 5:33, he calls Lindsay to say they're out of stock of the Pedialyte, so he's gonna get the generic brand, which we know is a lie because after seeing the evidence photos, you can see through the bag that he actually got the Pedialyte. And a minute later at 5:34 p.m. is when Lindsay calls him back, and at that point she is at the top floor of the house, and we don't know where she went after that, which gave her 5 to 10 minutes max after Patrick left until that phone call. And the toxicology report said that at this time she had 2 times the recommended levels of Seroquel in her system, which would cause heavy sedation and make it hard for anyone to even move. And a minute later at 5:35 would have been the earliest time that Lindsay could have jumped. Patrick then left the restaurant at 5:55, and it's a 10 to 12 minute drive from the restaurant to his house, which means he could have got there anytime between 6:05 to 6:07. Patrick then calls 911 at 6:11 after he claimed that he was having trouble calling them, even though that's not possible with 911. He also said he heard Lindsay talking when everyone else said that she was nonverbal at this point, but that's a different story. First responders then arrived at 6:15, and their youngest son, Callan, the 8-month-old, got to the ER sometime between 6:30 to 6:40. And 10 minutes after Callan arrived, they were able to revive his heartbeat. Callan was 8 months old, and the longest an infant at his age can go without a heartbeat is 20 to 30 minutes. That's very rare, but in some special cases, 45 minutes. So if they were able to revive his heartbeat at 6:40, 30 minutes before that would have been 6:10, but Patrick was home at that time, so he would have seen what was happening. So let's just say it happened 45 minutes before, so at 5:55 when Patrick wasn't home. The problem is that that would only give Lindsay 12 minutes for her to do that to her kids, run upstairs, jump out the window, and for her body to get to 82 degrees, which is impossible. Because the minimum amount of time for her body to get to that temperature is 45 minutes to 4 hours, depending on the circumstances. So no, that is impossible. One claim is that she jumped right after getting off the phone with Patrick, but that wouldn't make sense either because she would have had to have done that to her kids before 5:35 p.m., making it impossible for them to bring Callan's heartbeat back. So at the minimum, it would have been impossible for her to have done that to Callan and then her body to have gotten to 82 degrees. Let me know what you guys think about this, but rest in peace to her poor children, and as always, I'll keep you guys updated.